Let's go.
Improvisation, the most widely practiced of all musical activities, is probably the least recognized or understood. Vague descriptions like making it up as you go along or playing off the top of your head give no idea of the pervasiveness and the power of improvisation in music. Perhaps the air of mystery that surrounds it is inevitable. Improvisation is to do with change, adjustment, development, elusive ideas. It isn't any one style of music. It doesn't belong to East or to West. But it is the creative force in these and many other musics. It's present everywhere, in the most complex musical designs and in the earliest attempts at music making. In Chicago's Chinatown, at Haynes School, a class is introduced to music making by Douglas Hewitt. He's using methods based entirely on improvisation.
Usually I say nothing to them. I come in and I begin playing, and then they begin playing, and we experiment from there. Improvisation has several benefits. In most subjects that are taught in school, children individually, they synthesize the lesson. Here, they have to work together. So they're dependent on each other. They're waiting for each other. It doesn't matter whether they're the A student or the D student to me. Those things don't matter. I don't grade them anyway. The only grade that I deal with is participation. Like the exercise where we use the drumsticks. After we get going and we play for a while, the music begins to develop cohesion. And we begin to move together on a much higher intuitive level than they probably ever have an opportunity in most classes to do. I think they get enormous benefit from improvising. Is freedom to interject their own ideas into something. And no one is going to scrutinize it and say, oh, that wasn't good, or oh, you weren't thinking, or none of those. The idea is never rejected. It's an idea that we can immediately embrace. Beautiful. Okay.
Music making is not usually available to these children as part of their daily lives. Mostly, music comes ready-made and is offered, like popcorn, as something to buy and consume. Live music making has all but vanished from the streets and from their homes. It's become a rarity, and it's often out of reach. Within reach is music on record. So, in the absence of indigenous music, this is where they are likely to find their roots. And in music, whatever you're looking for, if it's authenticity or originality or transcendentalism or traditionalism, the best place to look is in a record store. But you won't find, or you find very rarely, any mention of improvisation. It's not a term which has become part of the record industry's promotional vocabulary. In most musics, it's unrecognized and it's unacknowledged. When it appears, nobody knows anything about it. If they do, there's very little comment about it. Except in European classical music, where improvisation is extinct. To invent something is totally beyond the scope of the modern orchestra. Its function seems to be more technological or, at best, Pavlovian. And perhaps they get nearest to improvisation when they're tuning up. European concert music, so-called classical music, provides an unlikely setting for improvisation. Formal, precious, enthralled to its historical geniuses and their timeless masterpieces, this music usually shuns the accidental and the unexpected. And yet, improvisation played a vital part in the genesis of this music, as in virtually all music. Mozart himself was more valued by his contemporaries as an improviser than as a great composer.
Industry wants, of course, to make recordings as efficiently as possible. And if you are constantly improvising,